Let's talk about both sides of immigration. You got one side, Mitt Romney out here talking about his idea of immigration is self-deportation. What does that mean? That just essentially means I'm going to make it so difficult for you to live in this country that you want to go back to your home country. What did Barack Obama do? He says, well, I tried my best to get the DREAM Act passed in order to make sure that we can have an easier way for immigration, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do an executive order to make sure all these millions of youth that were brought here, not under their own accord, can stay here and come out from the shadows and get themselves a green card. That's the difference. These issues are clear and distinct. That very executive order that Barack Obama passed, Mitt Romney says on Tuesday he's going to overturn it. But on Wednesday, nah, I keep it in place. You can keep your visas. But on Thursday, I'm going to overturn it. Flip-flop more than hip-hop.
Right. But we got a cure for that.
We're going to talk about women's rights. Do you care about equal pay for equal work? Do you really care that women are earning 70 cents on the dollar that men are earning? Does that issue seem important to you? Do you want a president that stands up and says the first legislation that I signed was the Lilly Ledbetter Act that fights for equal pay for equal work? Or do you want a president that says, I don't know if I support that or not? On Tuesday, he says, I'm against it. On Wednesday, he says, I don't have a position. On Thursday, his campaign says, no, he's against it. But on Friday, he says, no, I don't have a position. Is it that hard? Is it that difficult to come out and say that, you know what, I do believe that if you have the same job, have the same skill set, you do the same thing. You pick up this paper one way, I picked up this paper the other way. Why am I getting paid 70 cents and you getting paid $1? Is that hard? Do you want a president that says, well, you know what? If you want contraceptives, I'm going to make it harder for you to have access to these contraceptives. That when he's in front of millions of people in a debate, he says, you know what? I'm not against your employers sponsoring contraceptives. I'm not against that at all. But then his campaign comes out, he said that on a Tuesday. But on Wednesday, but on the Tuesday after the debate was over, see, this is the game, y'all, this is the game. I'm going to say something to the American people while 70 people are watching. But then I'm going to have my campaign come right after me and say something different because nobody's going to read the press release. So don't go by me. See, one thing about Mitt Romney to understand is that people forget, but YouTube doesn't. So don't believe me. Check out the words for yourself. Check out the issues for yourself. Because he supported a thing called the Blunt Amendment that says it's against employers paying for your contraceptives, making it harder for you. Do you want your own choice to figure out? Do you want to have some employer or some politician or anybody else standing between you and your contraceptive drugs? That's the type of issues that we have here. The question is, do you think it's important to have your own choice of your own body? Do you want to have some politician saying that you have to have some sort of a mandatory vaginal exam and have a probe stuck up in you because a politician said so? Do you think that's important or not? That's what's up for grabs in this election. I don't know about you, but if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a mandatory vaginal probe. I don't know anybody that wants to have a mandatory vaginal probe because a politician said that we have to have one. His running mate, Paul Ryan, comes out and says, I'm in favor of personhood. Passes legislation. What does personhood mean? Because they say all these terms that you don't really know what it means, but it says personhood means that as soon as that egg is fertilized, it is a human being. That means that as soon as that egg is fertilized, if you went and you took a day after pill, according to the 14th Amendment, you can be committed a murder. Legislation, ain't getting all these folks are lining up. And Mitt Romney says, no, I'm not really with them. I'm the top of the ticket, but I did say I'm going to overturn Roe v. Wade. I'm going to leave up to the states. But what if Louisiana, what if Michigan passes a personhood type legislation? He's not going to stop it. He's going to let it happen because leave it up to the states. Except, see now, it amazes me the back and forth when it comes to certain things because they want the states to deal with abortion. But oh, let it come to gay rights. Oh, let it come to folks who are gay. You know, I see it might be some gay brothers and sisters out here or some lesbians out here. That's fine, you know, whatever it is, this is a country that's supposed to be inclusive of everybody. Let it come to gay rights and we got to make sure that the federal level deals with gay rights. Because we're going to pass a marriage amendment that says that marriage is between man and woman. Now, all of a sudden, abortion states, but you know what's important enough that gay rights have to be dealt with on the federal level. There's a little bit of hypocrisy going on here. Don't ask, don't tell. Mick Romney said, you know, listen, I still have yet to understand how someone can take a bullet for this country, but still has to stand behind in the closet in terms of what they are. But you can take a bullet, but just don't tell nobody what you are, because all of a sudden if you tell somebody that you're gay, that's going to tank the whole doggone military force. Have we seen such ludicrous? I mean, it's almost like you can't make this stuff up. I mean, these are patriots going out here dying for this country. Patriots going overseas, doing necessary translation and terrorist attacks that all of a sudden, because they came out, got kicked out from the military until Barack Obama ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell. What Mitt Romney said, nah, I wouldn't have done that. We needed to wait till the fight was over. And you want to talk about war. When is the fight going to be over, according to Mitt Romney? How many trillions of dollars have we spent overseas? In other countries. I'm from Detroit. We need some of that trillions right in my own neighborhood doing some nation building on 8 Mile. We need to get some nation building done on 8 Mile, Illinois, where my folks at. As opposed to some folks in Afghanistan, Iraq,